Hello guys, it's John here. Today we're doing another Bakugan BakuTech Retrospect episode. This is episode 23 on Rise Dragaon. Rise Dragaon was first released in BTD-03, the Rise deck, and was then re-released as BTC-44, that version having gold medal. It is a Pirate's Bakugan. The deck version has 640 Gs, while the boosted version can have 640 or 650 Gs, and it was released in July of 2012. Taking a look at its ball form, it is molded in white plastic, has plenty of red detailing, as well as a bit of gold. Has some silver metal, bit of blue there. Very intricate design overall. Opening it up, it opens up like that and has no manual parts. And taking a look at its open design, it is a very impressive looking Bakugan. Just very large, again, very impressive, doing this without the use of manual parts as well. Definitely one of the nicest looking Bakugan in BakuTech in my opinion, and there are many great designs. This is really one of the best Bakugan ever designed in my opinion. Now to talk a bit more about its physical design, it does of course have the metal horn up here as well as the cross part here on the tail that is also metal. The entire Bakugan is just meant to open up to become very, very large and a strong attacker. There might not be a ton of metal in this thing, but it just has a ton of pop-out force. These wings come up and pop out, these arms come out a fair bit as well. Of course, the head has a pretty dynamic opening sequence of the horn then rising up as well. The tail also does smack the card when Rise Dragaon opens up. This can allow it to jump to another card, but more importantly, it does add to its pop-up force. It gets a bit of extra momentum heading into an opponent, which again is better for attack, making this thing pretty impressive. To close Rise Dragaon, we start with the head. This folds down sort of awkwardly, then these feet come in, arms cover that, then these wings will align with the arms. A little bit awkward to do here behind the camera, but anyway. Then, yeah, make sure the head stays down, and then the horn also stays down, then the tail will lock that into place, and now Rise Dragaon is closed. Looking at the anime, Rise Dragaon is owned by Harubaru, the main character of BakuTech. Rise Dragaon appeared through a lot of the first season, making it a very, very important Bakugan within the series. It doesn't have the same issue as Flare or Gren, where those appeared in the manga a lot. By the time the anime came out, Rise Dragaon was only a few months off, so they didn't get as much spotlight. This did. Now let's talk about the variants. The prototype version was released in BTK-01, Rise Hollow Twin Pack Limited Edition, and has 620 Gs. The white clear version was released in BTA-05, BakuTech Battlefield W Rise 4 set, and has 660 Gs. The gold version was released in BTA-08 Super 5 set, and has 660 Gs. The blue blaze version was released in BTD-07, the Champion deck, and has 660 Gs. The red clear version was released in BTA-22, Dragaon Legend set, and has 700 Gs. The clear version was released as a lottery prize, and has an unknown G power, and as a side note, this does look very similar to the red clear version. However, that one has gold metal and this one has silver metal. And lastly, there's the semi-translucent version. Its release method and G power are both unknown, and it might not even be real. This could be a recast or a custom, but as always, I usually include these fringe cases anyway. Lastly, let's talk about competitive. Rise Dragaon was great on release. Arguably the best Bakugan out there. It had extremely high pop-out force, and was already in contention for the best attacker in the game. Its only real competition being a Giga Narada. Regardless of anything else, its attack really carried it for a while until late BakuTech Season 1. That's where things like Buddha-Gil and Kachiya-Gel came out, which have more pop-out force than Rise Dragaon. However, Rise was still very good, very consistent, still making it a very strong option. However, in BakuTech Gachi it does, of course, fall off like most things. The best attackers in the game just get even better, making this thing fall off a bit. However, it was still a very good option by the end of BakuTech, and by my metrics ranks around high A tier. And that's really everything for Rise Dragaon, one of the most important Bakugan in BakuTech, one of my favorite designs, very good Bakugan overall. A lot of variants with this one as well, but that's really everything for it. Next episode will be on Gus Burnin, so until then, thanks for watching, and bye-bye.